Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Go ahead and take a look at some pitching for today, the 17th of August. It is Sunday. We do have a 9-game main slate ahead of us today. No real weather to worry about. A little bit in Minnesota, but I do think we should be fine there. A reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options. And I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play in FanDuel, I would cut my pool in half. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now with all that fun stuff said and done, let's just jump right into the first game. Miami, Boston. From my understanding, some pretty good hitting weather. Wind slightly blowing out. But it's still Garrett Crochet. Still somebody we're looking to use. Coming off of an atrocious start. But we're paying the price tag for the upside. 45 fantasy points a month ago. 3 double-digit strikeout games over his last 5 starts. Just one of the guys that we are going to want to rely on today. The upside is just too strong to ignore. I'm not interested in Jansen Junk at all at this point. Texas, Toronto. Get Jose Barrios. Pitching at home, where he is 4-1. And his K numbers are stronger when at home. Has a few more runs when at home, but he's at his best when he's at home. So I think this is a spot for me to use him. The overall Texas lineup just has underperformed. Semien likely to be out, I believe. I would guess at least. I think he's fine. I don't think he has the upside that Evalde does. The problem is Evalde's matchup's much more difficult. Coming off of a rough start where he allowed 3 home runs in 5 innings. His season numbers are just phenomenal. He's even stronger when on the road, which is where he's at today. Just 3 home runs allowed in 64 1/3 innings. Averaging nearly 25 DK points per game on the road, which is an extremely strong number. I think people will probably fade him because he's facing Toronto, and I kind of want to lower my exposure to him, but I do want to include him just because he's generally somebody that is fairly matchup proof. Dominated the Yankees, dominated Houston, dominated Detroit, Boston, Athletics, Cincinnati, Boston again. Should have no issues. His upside may be capped a little bit just because Toronto doesn't offer a ton of K upside. But I do think he is still in play. Milwaukee, Cincinnati. Andrew Abbott, somebody that we've definitely used a few times. I don't mind him. He's not bad. I prefer him on the road, away from this ballpark, but still, he wasn't very good against Milwaukee the first time he faced them. Strikeouts were there, but runs, home runs, etc. Probably going to have to pass on Abbott. And Quintana's just a guy that I don't really want to use, especially on a 9-game slate. Feels like he's basically capped around 20, 21 fantasy points, which he has been all season. He has been at his best when on the road, which is definitely the case today, but I normally do like left-handed pitching against Cincinnati, but I do think I'm going to pass on Quintana today. Atlanta, Cleveland. I just can't talk myself into Eric Fetty. I'll just pass. If he wins you the slate, congrats. I'm not doing it. Logan Allen, somebody that's decent, but I just don't think I'm going to get there. I don't mind left-handed pitching against the Braves right now, but I just don't know if Logan Allen is a guy that is going to get us there. I know we used him a couple different times, but this just, to me, doesn't feel like the right spot. And because of that, I think I'm just going to end up passes. His walk's been up the last couple starts. Prior to that, he had a home run issue over a number of starts, so I just don't know that he has enough upside for us on a 9-game slate. Baltimore, Houston. Christian Javier, definitely somebody I want to utilize. 85 pitches in his return. Got the W in 5 innings. Potentially could be a bit sharper. Big price increase for him. But still, it was nice to see him back. Obviously, a guy that's thrown a no-hitter at the major league level, so we know that he has enough upside to get it done. Dean Kramer has been pretty bad on the road. I don't think I can get there, but he is in consideration right now. 21 plus in 5 of his last 9 starts. A 29, a 31 in there, so there is upside for him. Unfortunately, both of those starts came at home, which obviously I mentioned his road splits aren't the strongest. Over 100 pitches in each of his last 2 starts. So he's being allowed to, potentially go deep, 8 innings. I might include Dean Kramer. I don't feel great about it, but after seeing what Brandon Young did Friday night, maybe this Houston lineup is struggling a little bit more. And if that's the case, Dean Kramer could be a guy that gets it done. I'm not sure what the Twins are going to do for this next game. Travis Adams threw an inning and a third yesterday, 47 pitches. My guess is he does not begin this game. Chris Paddock taking on his former team for the second time in 3 starts. I want to believe that he's going to get it done, but that last time against them just stands out in my head. I'm going to end up probably passing on Paddock, and it feels like a mistake after what Casey Mize did to them yesterday, but maybe he makes his way back in my pool. Pitching options on the slate are actually pretty weak, unfortunately. White Sox, Kansas City. Burger is definitely somebody I'm going to use. Looked pretty decent for Kansas City's last time out. It was against the Twins, but strikeouts were there, etc. Overall, White Sox lineup not all that dangerous. I am curious to see because I think Bridger is pretty extreme reverse splits. If the White Sox lineup comes out super right-hand heavy, it might push me off of him. But for now, I am interested in Bridger a little bit. The other side, Davis Martin. It's a guy that kind of flashes some ability. 20 fantasy points against Kansas City the last time he faced them without getting the W. Did pick up strikeouts in that one, which we don't really expect against Kansas City. He had an atrocious start against Kansas City previously as well. I just don't think we can get there on Davis Martin. He's been pretty rough on the road, so probably a decent spot to pass. New York, St. Louis. Some potential for pop-up rain, I guess, in St. Louis, but not something that is going to deter me as of now. Will Warren, somebody I will use just because he does have upside. He's volatile. Doesn't match the upside of, say, like a Blake Snell, Dylan Cease, but he reminds me of those guys with his volatility. It did strike out 11 against the Angels at one point. His high since then is just 7 strikeouts, but can have a home run issue, but can be dominant. Can have a walk issue, but can be dominant too. He's just kind of all over the place. The one issue here, St. Louis does not strike out a whole lot overall. I know we haven't looked at these numbers recently, but let's take a look. Yeah, the 5th fewest in baseball for the Cardinals. So, it does make it a little bit of a tougher spot. More strikeouts recently over the last 3 games. So, maybe. But also just because of the pitching options are definitely weaker. It's causing me to want to utilize some additional arms. Or arms that we might not want to on this particular slate. Other side, Miles Mikolas. We know the Yankees strike out a lot, but I'm just not using Miles Mikolas. Similar to Eric Fetty, if the slate is won by Mikolas, I will not be winning. It is what it is. Bullpen game for Pittsburgh. Zielinski started out the season as a starter at the major league level, but excuse me, looks like he might be limited to maybe 3 innings, 2 to 3 innings. Not really a spot we can take advantage of since he is priced up like a regular starter. The other side, Javier Assad made his season debut, but it was against Toronto. It's a pretty tough matchup. Today is a better matchup. He did throw 70 pitches in that one, so we could see him bump into the 80s for pitch count. I think Assad actually makes sense from an upside standpoint. Don't really know what to expect out of him just yet, since this will be just his second appearance off the IL. But given the slate of pitching on today, I think Assad is somebody that we want to go with. I think a lot of the slate's going to be won by hitting, unfortunately. But, I mean, there are some pitchers with some pretty strong upside. So if we get a couple of those guys to match their upside, we could see a high-scoring slate. But there we have it. There's a first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, there will be a link to our merch store in the description. You can check out my hoodie and some other stuff on the site. Let me know what you think. So, as always, best of luck, everybody.